Hey, Courtroom Chronicles family. I'm back again with yet another video of today's proceedings. Today, we're just going to talk about Mkabayi and Steveno. That's the video that I'm making today, and I just want us to go right into it. And yeah, we'll talk about it in the comment section, and you let me know what you think. So imagine you are making a stew, guys. You're cooking stew, and you've got your spices, you've got your vegetables, you've got your meat, everything, the right ingredients. But if you don't let the stew simmer enough, it won't be ready. You must let the stew simmer enough until the meat is tender, and then you can serve us the plate. So today, Miss Mkabayi says no to the state. Your stew is not yet ready. You're trying to serve us something that the meat is separated, the salt is not there, the spices are not blending in, and we are not going to take that. We are not accepting that. You do not have a complete stew that is well done. So it doesn't blend together. So we are not taking it. So in today's proceedings, guys, where every piece of evidence needed to simmer just to form the complete picture. And Mkabayi was saying that I'm bringing receipts. We are not taking that. So I want us to go through her argument that the stew of the state that they're serving us it's not ready. So she says that you've tossed in the onions, the veggies, the salt, but it's not cooked thoroughly. And she opens with fire. Hey, today, she had that, yeah. Miss Mkabayi was like, when the Joshlin Smith case broke, it was something that shocked the country and it shocked the world. And the state was supposed to come in and do proper investigation, but you guys, you dropped the ball. You didn't even show up to the game. So she's saying your case is weak. It's too weak, and this thing it's being watched, but not only South Africans, but the whole world is watching, and you didn't come with tangible things. So Ms. Mkabayi starts and says, this was flawed from the investigation. It was poor. It's just it's a badly cooked recipe. And she says it's just disaster because there were unlawful arrests. You didn't do things the right way. Right from the beginning when you were arresting my client. She says, let's just break it down. I will get to the 204 witness, but right now I want us to break it down. She says, okay, let's start with the 204 witness, which is Laurentia Lombard-Renz. She says, that girl is a liar. She's full of lies. She's a liar. She told the Captain Lombard lies. She told Constable Sikhobe lies, and she's a decent lady. I liked Captain Sikhobe and the way that she was doing things. And she's almost the same age as Renz. But she lied. At first, she was saying that it's because she's a junkie, and then later on, she's still relapsing because she's lying, and we're just tired of her lies. And then she says, remember, let's go back. Your 204 witness said she was taken to a place and she was assaulted there, and she was tortured. Her and the father of her babies, Ayanda, they were tortured, they were brought back, and she was later on rearrested. So she's saying that she waited 7 months to confess, and she was taken in March. Then on the 21st of October, she was taken aback again. Why did it take her that long for her to confess? So Miss Mkabayi says, I know there must be something wrong. She's saying, no, this is not character development. She's talking about it. And says it's just storytelling. She's telling us stories, and we are supposed to just take them, these stories, and we are not going to do it. So she says, even when the witness gave her confession to Sergeant Sekhobe, the details didn't hold up. That is number one. So she's a seasoned and sharp officer, and she gave Laurentia Lombard a chance to tell the truth. She even said she's well spoken, she's articulate in Afrikaans, and she wrote the statement in English and also told her, what do you want to add? What do you want to subtract? What should I fix? And she said, the girl said, everything is fine. Then Miss Mkabayi takes us now and she places us at the Joshlin meeting. Do you remember when she said there were 6 people? Laurentia Lombard said it was her, it was Stefano, it was Kelly, it was Joshlin, it was Requin. Requin was in the bedroom, Joshlin was playing outside, and it was Stefano. So 6 people were there. So she's taking us back and saying that in that meeting, who was the chairman of the meeting? Who had spoke about the plan? Who was the mastermind? Who came with what? She was asking us that, what are the details of that meeting? Because we don't have it. So the state, you're just trying to cook things that we don't know. She moves on and says that, when did it become a crime to sell a microwave in South Africa? She says on the day of the questioning, which is the 19th of February, when Joshlin got lost, my client was selling a microwave. So when did that start becoming a crime? She says, when is it a crime to visit your friend? I don't remember any law saying that it's a crime to do that. My client was selling a microwave. My client went to visit their friend, and that is not a crime. And when she ended that 23 minutes and 23 seconds, because she told us that the prosecution spoke for 4 hours and 30 minutes, but there was no substance in what they were saying. She told us that there was no substance when she was listening to the prosecution. For 4 hours, there was no substance. That's what she said to us. So I also counted. I said, okay, for 23 minutes and 23 seconds, she was speaking, and I just wanted to see that is she spitting facts about this Jew that is undone. So now let us get to the speculation. She just says, all of this is just speculation. And it's from a witness who has lied, who has relapsed, and who couldn't even say anything consistent, even when God was brought into the picture. I remember I remember it very well, when she asked Lauren, she said, do you believe in God? And I asked myself, because I'm not a lawyer, I don't know how they start and all these things, and said, do you believe in God? And I asked myself, how is that relevant? Now she's bringing it back. She's saying, I asked her about God, if she believes in God. She grew up in a home where she was taught about God, and she says all of this. Miss Lombard said yes. And I think she was just saying, this woman doesn't respect God. She's a liar. She doesn't respect the law. She doesn't, she counted a lot of things that she was even interviewed by another constable that had gray hair. And that constable was much older than Constable Sekhobe. So, Laurentia doesn't have respect, and she's a liar. And that's what we heard from her. And then she went now to human dignity, said everyone has a right to dignity. Now, a dignity to be respected and to be protected. It doesn't matter you are rich, you are poor, you deserve to have the same respect. So this means every single person, no matter your background, status, or actions, you are born with dignity, and it must be honored. And her client didn't get all that dignity. Her client didn't. Instead, the client was degraded and dehumanized, and it's the backbone of all other rights. If dignity falls, the rest crumbles. So she came and told us about this stew, that you need all these ingredients to have something solid. that you can dish for us and then we can eat. But if the plate has meat that is separating, you can see the onion, it's not tasty, the spices are not there, the salt is not there, how can you say you are serving us a meal? She said, no, state, we don't like this stew, it's not tasty, the meat is like rubber and we're not gonna take it. You should have done better. You did a dismal job. So now, yeah, what do you think, guys? What do you think about the stew that we were played with? So I wanted to explain the sections. Just, I try to explain things in a way that you will understand, like a 5-year-old. So here I am. She explained section 10. She said it's all about human dignity. Everyone is inherent to dignity and have a right to have dignity respected and protected. The explanation is, this means every single person, no matter their background. I told you what it means, né? That you need to be honored and to be protected. Section 12, she said it's freedom and security of the person. Everyone has a right to freedom and security of a person, which includes the right not to be deprived of freedom and security. The person has a right not to be detained without trial. The person has a right to be free from all forms of violence from either the public or private resources. I think this right is section 12, guys. It's the one that also, that's why they stop the mob justice, because they will tell you you have a right to be protected. No one has to harm you in any manner. So I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking of it right now as I'm saying it. And that you have a right not to be tortured in any way. So she says, my client was tortured, and that is not fair. My client was tortured. It's unlawful, And she said, every client has a right not to be treated and punished in a cruel way, inhuman or degrading way. So this section, it protects your body, your safety, your peace of mind. It says you can't be just arrested and locked up for no reason. She says her client was just standing there at the hiking spot, then the police came, didn't show him warrant of arrest, didn't tell him why he was being arrested. All these things happened, and these are just things that were just putting aside his rights, and he was not treated like a human being. So you have a right to a fair trial. You deserve to live without fear or violence, whether from the state or random people. No torture, no cruelty, no degrading treatment, period. She said, this is what I'm coming with. Her words were poor investigations from the start. She says the whole world is watching and there's poor investigations from the beginning. And those unlawful arrests lead to malicious prosecutions. Boom. That's what she came with. Then she says the main cause is half cooked. So we cannot take that. It's half cooked. And then according to Ms. Mkabayi, the state wants to serve a meal that looks like justice but lacks ingredients to back it up. So, yeah, she says, you guys threw the onion, you threw in the salt, the meat, they didn't simmer. It's a stew that is uncooked. We do not want it. So the translation is, in simple terms, the prosecution's case is not ready, not even close. In terms of Ms. Mkabayi, she says, we're not taking this. And by the end, she pointed at a picture of a case built on vibes, not facts. So you remember this morning, if you didn't watch that video, please go back and watch. Where we talked about reasonable doubts, that it has to be proven beyond reasonable doubt and what it means. I explained it in that video. So now she's saying this is a half-cooked, under-seasoned stew. There are not enough spices. The meat is not tender. We are not taking it. We are not taking it. All of this, it's on the side of speculation. And Ms. Mkabayi, she wasn't biting. She said, I'm not going to bite this meat. I am not going to bite it. And her final tone was clear. I need you to listen. Come closer, guys. Come closer. Her final tone was clear. She said, there's no evidence in this. There's no intent in this. There's no trafficking in this. There's no kidnapping. No common purpose. Just a whole lot of gaps, and one unreliable witness is stirring the stew. She's the one who's there and stirring the stew. And then the case is far from over, guys. You can see, Miss Mkabayi made it clear, you can't serve undercooked stew and call it justice. Not in this courtroom. That's what she told us. And that's what I have for you for today, I think. I will do other videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Thank you so much for joining us yet again. And until next time, God bless.